Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Today, we are going to talk about the Garden of Eden, okay? Now look, I'm going to get straight up to my point, okay? The Garden of Eden is located within the continent of Africa, okay? Now, how do I know this to be a fact, huh? Because the scriptures identify things that are in and around the Garden of Eden, okay? And those things are only located within the continent of Africa. Look, I'm gonna jump right into this, okay? Alright, I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm saying, alright? Genesis chapter 2, and we'll start with verse 10. Now here's what it says. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is, which compasseth the whole land of Yasharahla, where there is gold. Now, I want y'all to remember Yasharahla, because we're going to come back to that in a minute. Alright? Verse 12. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Now notice what it says here. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. Okay, so there's 4 rivers, okay? And it's coming out of the Garden of Eden, okay? You see what I'm saying? Now I want y'all to pay attention to what's it saying here, alright? And a river went out of Eden to water the garden. It's a river that's out of Eden, and it's watering the garden, okay? And from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads, like 4 rivers, okay? Notice what verse 13 says. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. This river compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Now, where the heck is Ethiopia? Ethiopia is within the continent of Africa. Okay? Do you see that? It is in the Bible, and it's telling you that there's a river that's within the Garden of Eden, that it compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Okay? Most people don't read this. They don't see this. Okay? But I'm letting you know. Alright? So everyone can know that the Garden of Eden is within the continent of Africa. Now let's go back to verse 11, where it says, the name of the first is Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Yasharahla, where there is gold. Yasharahla, which is also a place within the continent of Africa. And it has something to do with Ethiopia. And I'm going to show y'all. Now Yasharahla, which is a place in Africa, which is most likely named after the son of Kesh. Now who was Kesh? Kesh is the old way of saying Ethiopia. When you see Kesh in the scriptures, it's most likely talking about the Ethiopians. Now we're going to read in Genesis chapter 10. And it's talking here about Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We're going to talk about Ham, though. Verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. Verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Kesh, and Mizraim, and Put, or Pot. And Canaan. And the sons of Cash. Now remember, Cash is the Ethiopian, the father of all the Ethiopians. He's pretty much like the Abraham when it comes to he's pretty much the Abraham when it comes to the Ethiopians. And the sons of Cash is Seba and Havilah and Sabta and Raama and Sabtika. And the sons of Raama, Sheba, and Dedan. Now look what it says. And the sons of Cash, Seba and Havilah. Havilah is Cash's son. Do you see that? See what I'm saying? And in Genesis 2, this place, this river that is connected, it is the same river that's connected to Havilah, because Havilah is named after this person here. Because how else would this place be named Havilah? You see what I'm saying? Because Havilah is most likely named after him. You see, Cash, the river, comes out of Ethiopia. And there's another river that is connected within Havilah, because the Garden of Eden is located within the region of Ethiopia. Havilah is in Africa. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want you to know this, okay? So when you Google Havilah, it's going to show you here, it's going to make you think that the Havilah that's in Genesis is not the same Havilah that's in Africa. It's telling you it's two different places, but really it's the same place, because they don't want you to know that this is where it all began. That Africa is a Kodash place, and it's bigger and better than you think. But they don't want you to know that Havilah is connected to the Garden of Eden. They want you to think that Africa is a poor place for poor people with no money. But it turns out the first man was created within the continent of Africa. And it tells you that there is gold within the continent of Africa. I want you to research this for a fact, because if ain't no place got gold, Africa is the birthplace of gold, okay? So I tell you, study the scripture for yourself and don't wait for other people to do it for you, okay? Shalom.